Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. What's going on, guys? What a crazy week it was. I'll get into my side in a second, and it's one of those weeks where you just feel like everything's gone really well. And these weeks are rare in SuperCoach. Bit of Stephen Bradbury vibes about it. I feel like I've just dodged some serious carnage. You know, Tim English out. Started our week off a bit brutally. Would have hurt a few people. Hugh Dixon out. Okay, maybe hurt some coverage. That's okay. I've got Jack Hayes. He goes down with an ACL, scores a stinker. And then Roses, our beautiful next generation cash cow, the next wave of cash generation. How good is this? Late out, many of which, okay, I'll just bring in Kai Lohman. Goes down in the second term, I think it was. Scores 20 or 30. It was a brutal week. And one that, thankfully, I actually feel like I dodged a bit of the carnage. Now, I will go to my side, and I don't need that. I don't even know what this is. Oh, that's right. I was writing up on the tennis. Don't need that. Got a live sesh coming up. Be kind to me. I want to be inside the top 10,000. I'm hoping for a bit of a rise in ranks here, and that's big, baby. That's big, baby. 10 out of 10 wins. I like that. What's the overall rank? Fuck yeah, that's good. That's real good. Shit. That's awesome. I actually didn't... I thought it'd be good. I actually didn't think it'd be that good. Gee, that's... Bang. Shorty's up and about. Oh, that's good, guys. I had so many bad weeks last week, and this, run the channel week to week was fun, but brutal when you're going so bad and you're hosting a YouTube channel. So it's nice to be actually going well. So like I said, I avoided a lot of that carnage, which was just absolutely crucial. So not only did I avoid a bit of that, but I had some really nice scorers in there as well. Now, I'll go through my side in a minute and then talk a bit more about what we're going to do moving forward. So that top row of the back line, really consistent. Short bounced back. Hewitt just keeps delivering, doesn't he? Crisp has been really good. Ridley's a bit of a thorn in my side. Look, he had one touch in the last quarter. Up until then, I thought he was going really well. So I can only presume he was on about 80 at three-quarter time and then barely saw the pill. Did that coincide with Laverty going off? Did he have to play a little bit tighter? Potentially. So that could be something to think about. But there's probably more pressing issues. It's not like I have to get rid of him. Dacos was solid, but I feel like, we're not going to trade him out soon, but he could be reaching his peak in terms of price point. But he is also a rare rookie where he's a genuine chance to score 100. So that's rare in terms of rookies. Paddy McCartan goes down. That hurts. Obviously, really hoping that it's nothing too serious in terms of a head knock for him. I'm hearing good things about how he's travelling, which is great. I'm pretty sure he'll miss the week because he failed a concussion test. But regardless, again, that was 44 off about three-quarters work. So, he was heading to his pretty reliable 60 to 70 once again. So, I'll need Hinge to come back, I reckon. If not, I will be relying on Gibcus, who had his best score by a mile, which was fantastic. Great for that cash gen, which is unexpected. So all of a sudden, he should rise up to around 300 or so, as long as he doesn't put in an absolute howler over the next couple of weeks. So, and then McRae was a touchdown, but still a solid score, all considering. Jack Steele as well was a good vice captain option that I got involved with on the Friday. Lockie Neal, good without being great. Clayton Oliver went bang, which is massive because a lot of people would have been hoping that he would drop in price again, and he did, but very, very marginally. Cripps came back, straight back into his tip-top form. And again, a lot of people would have been thinking, break-even 150-something, could get him cheaper. You're not going to get him too much cheaper. Cripper just bounced right back into the thick of things. Horn Francis, got the price rise, but it wasn't much. It could be his last price rise. At least, he's not making too much more money. I think we know that. Nick Martin, just extreme efficiency. How good is that? He's travelling super nicely. I'll talk about trades in a second, but, Rochelli's definitely also peaked. Josh Ward just can't quite get going. O'Driscoll wasn't quite what we had hoped or what we had got. I think, you cop the odd 40 if he's giving you back-to-back tons. Now, Brodie Grundy, back in business. Good, Brodie. That's good. It was a slow burn, I must admit. I wasn't too sold on him returning to his best, but he got motoring in that last quarter with a big mark, a big goal, and look, holding on to him faith was rewarded. Bruce did fantastic things. He shared the ruck at times, but when push came to shove, he was the main guy. That's promising. Jared Witt's been insane. I know trading Max Gawn looks like an error, and it has hurt me in a way, but equally, he made me so much cash, and he's continuing to make insane amount of cash. And this decision that I've got coming up is a crazy one. I'll talk about it in a second. Josh Dunkley, huge. Heaney fought an 81 out of absolute nowhere. Really got going and saved himself. Will Brodie just doing outstanding stuff. And he's almost saying, look, without Fife, boys, I'm a keeper in this forward line. How good's that? You could say almost similar with Cornelio. Butters, probably one of the main issues along with Ridley. But I heard he had gastro, and he did look like it. He looked like he was stuffed at times. So we'll let him off the hook. I've got other plans in place, which I'll talk about in a moment. And this was the big one, right? So Roses laid out. You heard about it sort of on Sunday, early Sunday. So I'm thinking, shit, what am I going to do? Do I go to Loman or do I back into Conning? Because half the week was me spending the thought process of trying to avoid having to field someone like DeConning. And I thought, I'm leaning towards not trading or not reversing the trade. And let's just see what DeConning does. Scores 60-odd. The decision was made for me. Mainly off the back of what I wanted to do this week, which I'll touch on in a second. But in the end, it was an absolute bullet dodged. Hopefully Roses comes back because he's right on the bubble. I think it was a calf, which doesn't exactly say I'll be back next week, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, I'll just have a quick look at the leagues from a game day point of view. I'll do a video and I'll go a bit deeper into the leagues themselves. I'll do a separate video for that. But in terms of my head-to-head, obviously really, really good. Good to get the dub in the A team. I will have a look at this league actually in a second because they were ranked real high. The team at AFL SuperCoach 360, that one's involved with, real high. Good to get the win in Braggers. That one I really want to do well in. And, got some nice dubs. I think, look, the par score was definitely between sort of 2,200 and 2,250, depending how much carnage you sort of copped. So most of these were pretty comfortable victories, which is the way we like them. That's the way we like it. So I'll just wander over and check the how this league is going. Because we were ranked 4th. Number 1 league, baby. Wow. This is some sort of day for old Shorty. Not that it's me creating this league, but fuck, that's awesome. I'll have to do a separate video on that. Wow. I've never had that in my life at any point. Best part of 38,000 leagues. Number 1 league. Shit. That's awesome. Who's going well in here? Jared's on fire. Top 500. So's Benny Boy, the Phantom. We chucked in there. Got Jordan DeBlowy. Yeah, well done. Congrats, guys. That's awesome. Privileged to be a part of it. Check them out. AFL SuperCoach 360. You can check them out on Facebook. I post there a bit. But let's dive into my trade thoughts. And before I do, just a couple little housekeeping things. We will go live tomorrow, so Tuesday, 8 o'clock. I'll have I think a video's already out on that. But yeah, there'll be goal kicking video later in the week because we had the subscriber kick today, but unfortunately we didn't have anyone in attendance, which was a bit of a pity. But sometimes you give things a crack, and for whatever reason, it just didn't pan out on this occasion. So we'll be back. We'll definitely do another subscriber kick. But me and Langus were there. He was going to do a bit of filming, and in the end, we just filmed our own video, which turned out to be a pretty tight battle actually. So on Wednesday, I'll drop that one in there. So in terms of trades this week, I'm pretty sure I pressed record on this. Yep. I've had these trades in mind for a couple of weeks now. So Jason Horn-Francis and Josh Rochelle, I'm not sure if these boys will be updated in terms of their break-evens. I know it was like 6 or 10 the other. So they are updated. Break-even 85, so he's got to go. He's made some solid coin, but being a small forward, it's been an up-and-down ride, which is to be expected, but he's had some good signs. And Jason Horne-Francis, good without being great. Probably just those couple of 90s, and the 39 obviously hurts his cash gen. Break-even 83. So it's time to go. Now, hear me out, okay? So Sam Hayes, you got to bring him in. He's a lock. Must come into the team. Now, it's not going to be Bruce. Brodie Grundy bounced back. Am I going to trade out a guy that is averaging 114? Jared Witts. Am I crazy? Potentially. But let me just look. The way I look at it, right, Jared Witts' function in my team, his purpose, make cash. And he's done that. Thanks, Jared. Cheers, bro. But break even of 77. So he's had a whopper couple of games. So he's been a bit both ends of the spectrum. The 95 sits in the middle. He has 88, 75, but he's also he smashed 154 was when, who was that against? Somebody went down and he cashed in. Oh, that's right. Pitternet was a late withdrawal, cashed in. Now he beat up Oscar McInerney. That's no mean feat. So he's flying, but now he's 29 and he's never been a premium ruck. Even in his best years, it was all in the 90s. Is this an outlier? Is this his career best year out of nowhere? At 29? I guess what I'm saying is he a keeper? Or do you say, look, Brodie Grundy, we know at his best what he can do. He's only had that one bad game. Okay, he hasn't been the Brodie Grundy of old, and, he's probably not going to be a guy who averages 120. But if he averages 110 for the rest of the year, that's fine. That 53, 96, 101, they're not amazing, but he's been pretty consistent aside from a stinker. He's got runs on the board. He's more so in the prime of his career. He's 2 years younger than Witts. Thought it might be more. And look, in terms of a durability point of view, you got to give the points to Grundy. Now, it's a tough one. I'm leaning towards Witts because his purpose was to be a trade out at some stage. So basically, he's at 530, down to Hayes at 123. That gives me 407k, plus the 61 in the bank. So I'm going to be playing with about 470, and I'm thinking Horne-Francis probably up to. I was thinking originally Tuke Miller or Christian Petrarca, but again they didn't go bonkers. How about Callum Mills with a 214? Holy shit, that's crazy. Walsh is in the mix, but I'm almost leaning towards Andy Brayshaw. Almost leaning towards him. I wonder what Tuke Miller. I'm guessing it's still around sort of 130. Yeah, 130 on the dot. And Petrarca's is probably. He might be around the 125 mark, 119. I mean, you can easily get that. He's 555. You're not going to get him much cheaper, are you? What's Brayshaw at? And then the other one, right, is Luke Parker. I reckon it's time to jump on him at a really saucy price. 110, so yeah. Because basically I've done the sums. If I go... Because originally the plan was to bring in Tim English. But obviously that changed. I feel like he's going to have a break in around 70 or 80. Fuck, 53. So he ain't staying at that price for long. And I think with Franklin back, I'll try and back it up with some centre bounce numbers. He did not play too much time forward. He looked back to midfield time. So basically, if Horne-Francis, if I use 250k on, or even a bit higher to Brayshaw, that's going to leave me with about 220, and I'm going to trade out Rochelle. So Rochelle is at, he didn't quite get to the 300, which I wanted him, that 290 mark. So that means I can play with about 510. So it needs to be a forward, in my opinion, because you can't get premium mids for that price. which leaves me with, I'll do a bit of tinkering, but I'm thinking almost Horn Francis and Rochelle to Parker and Brayshaw or Petrarca, whichever way I go. And Witts all the way down to Hayes. Tell me if I'm crazy, but if you tell me I'm crazy, then tell me who to trade out for Hayes. Because I don't even think because some people might say I'll just do Hugh Dixon, but he's still got cash to make once he comes back. And I don't think I can't even swing him in there. So you tell me. But I'm gonna call it there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Really good week for Shorty, which is pleasing. I hope you're hanging in there out there, because it was a tough week. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Some weeks just kill you. SuperCoach is a bitch sometimes. For a lot of you out there, it would have been a bitch over the last 3 days. So hang tough. We'll talk soon. If you got any questions in terms of trades, hit me up on Tuesday night. We can sort it out all then. But I'll be back plenty throughout the week, and we'll talk to you then. Cheers.